ASL Season 22.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Group D here of the ASL Season 22.
Yes, welcome back. Hope that you guys are enjoying this ASL season so far. I certainly am. A lot of upsets have been occurring. It's been beyond what I expected, honestly, so far.
Yeah, it's been a weird season so far. Kind of exciting. I would, we always have a couple seasons where some really good players, get knocked out in the round of 24, but this one is pretty exceptional. So I'm not sure exactly what kind of round of 16 we're going to be having here, but a lot of new names are rising through the ranks. A lot of big names have already been wiped out, and we'll have to wait till season 23 to see if they even qualify.
I know it's kind of crazy with the big names that are out already and haven't qualified. Let's take a look at the schedule real quick. So this week we have the rest of the round of 24, and then we'll have the group nomination coming up. So of course that'll be, over a week without any ASL games coming up. And then into that round of 16, which, little surprise for you guys, we have to go to BlizzCon. So we're actually going to be doing the round of 16 together in a hotel room.
Yeah. You'll see all of the round of 16. Well, that will not, should not be delayed in any way. We're going to get into Los Angeles early and record the matches, and then stay after BlizzCon and record it there. So this will basically go uninterrupted. Do remember that there is that week off in the group selection. Group selection takes a long time to translate, so that basically comes out right before the round of 16.
Yeah.
And of course, the ASL Season 22 Finals is going to be at Jamshil on the ice skating rink. It's going to be the ASL on ice, Tastosis.
That's right. And while you're at it, you can go see Lotte Tower, tallest building in Korea. A lot of fun. Great aquarium in there.
This is our
great viewing deck up at the top.
ASL ice skating musical. We finally, we've finally gone big.
Yes.
So definitely check that out. That is actually that whole area is very cool. Very modern part of Seoul. Tallest building in the country. And there's a ton of stuff to do there, a ton of shop, ton of great food. So very much looking forward to that ASL Season 22 Finals.
Do not go to the amusement park, though. Lotte World is irresponsible on how many people they let in. It is disgusting. 5-hour rides, 5-hour lines for like the most mid rides ever. It's so gross.
All right. Well, the PSA is out there. The people have been warned. So I could see they're doing some memorabilia stuff here for the last ASL finals. Maybe one of the most memorable StarCraft finals of all time, Soma and Flash. Such a treat. Yeah. If you did miss that finals, in between the days we don't have these ASL updates coming out, definitely go back and check that out. That was just an incredible season.
I loved last season, and I loved that finals as well. Dude, so many people were talking about that finals afterwards, and like, oh, did Flash leave too early or something? It was great. It was fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, it was a really special finals. So, this is just a funny looking week. Group D, it's 3 Zergs and a Terran. Group E, it's 3 Terrans and a Zerg. And then Group F, it's 1 Protoss and 3 Zergs. So, every once in a while, we have these groups that are very, there's a big emphasis on mirror matchups. So we're going to have kind of Zerg Terran civil wars going on here to see, how what the makeup of the round of 16 is actually going to be like. But there's a lot of possible outcomes here. So this should be a very interesting week of games.
Indeed. Oh, interview time.
Exciting perks that make play even more special. Google Play. I clearly did ask them before the interviews, but players seem to be a bit frozen thinking about their games. Let's shut it together with everyone once more. Exciting perks that make play even more special, Google Play. Yes, brought to you by Google Play, ASL Season 22, Round of 24, Group D matches. Hello everyone, I'm Youngchan. Upsets continue to shake up the Round of 24 this season, with 3 Zergs lined up in Group D today. Predicting the outcome doesn't seem very easy at all. But before we meet the players of Group D, let's briefly introduce the draw to them. If you log into SOOP and watch the official ASL broadcast, we'll be giving away ASL fans via random draw raffle. Please enjoy the stream. Now let's meet the players of Group D. First, Tier 1 Zerg is Hero. Hello. Putting the last season's performance behind them, Hero heads into round of 24 with fresh mindset for the new season. How's your mindset heading into today? Well, last season, I was knocked out in an unfortunate way, so it was such a shame, but I want to work hard this season and get some great results. Honestly, a player like Hero getting knocked out in round of 24 feels very out of place in ASL. However, with such strong outbursts from Tier 3 and Tier 4 players, something tells me that preparation must not have been that easy, even for you, Hero. First off, match 1 is a ZBZ, and this time, ggaemoda beat Jdong to make it up here, so I shouldn't take it lightly at all. So I prepared thoroughly. A dependable answer as always from Hero. Now, facing off against him in the opening match, returning to the stage after such a long absence of 8 seasons is ggaemoda. Nice to see you. Great to see you. ggaemoda is receiving loud cheers from fans heading into the match. Hero just mentioned it, but in the first day of the qualifiers, you took down Jdong and Barracks to reach round of 24. Is your condition as good as it was in the qualifiers? My condition actually isn't that great as I hoped, so I'm a bit more worried, but I prepared well, so I'll give it my all. I dare say that the passion from the fans here today make up for the lowered form. The cheers are immense. How does it feel? Can you feel it? Yeah, even friends all the way from Changwon came by, and from K-Uni. Both students in the head came out to support me, so I think I need to show something good. Yes, ggaemoda is feeling both pressure and responsibility. Next, let's say hello to Larva in the Tier 2 seat. Hello. Hello. It's hard to even imagine how disappointing last season must have been for you, Larva. Putting that behind you, many fans are looking forward to seeing a completely transformed version of you this season. How are you feeling it personally? Honestly, my wrist was in really bad shape last season, so I considered taking a break this season. But since I got eliminated so early last season, I really wanted to finish on a high note, so I signed up again, so I'll try my best. Fans will certainly hope that you manage your wrist condition well. When you saw that this group had 3 Zergs, Larva, how did you feel? Did you feel disappointed, or had thoughts like this is gonna be tough? Back in the early days of ASL, I actually found playing ZBZ in tournaments fun and thrilling, but lately, nowadays, I feel like I've become a bit scared, hesitating a lot more, and making a lot more misplays. So today, I'm planning to keep my head straight and stay totally focused. With it being best of 1 format, the pressure is bound to weigh heavily as well. Lastly, let's speak to the lone Terran of the Group D, MONG. Hello. Hello, MONG. You must have so much you want to prove this season. How are you feeling? Honestly, I'm completely at ease. I've been eliminated from round of 24 so many times. I just prepared comfortably. It can't just be because you've been eliminated so many times. Maybe the reason you feel so at ease is because your practice process went so well, isn't it, Mom? First of all, I didn't get to practice much this time, so I honestly wasn't even sure if I could make it to ASL. But after getting through with a bit of luck helping, turns out that the practice environment turned out to be perfect with a triple third. Most of the times I got knocked out of ASL, it was usually due to not being able to overcome TBC. So this time I managed those days head on. Beyond overcoming TBC, if MONG manages to win, we'll get to see MONG back to group nomination ceremony for the first time since Season 17, so many fans will be rooting for you. Since Group D has triple Zergs, it seems that predicting results will be tough for fans as well. But for ggaemoda, a Tier 4 player, notably, fan predictions for him advancing in first place came out to be massive 10%. It seems that hype built up from ggaemoda's qualifier run along with sheer unpredictability of triple Zerg group, heavily influenced those high expectations. What would you like to say to those 10% of fans, Gaemo? That feels way too high. I'm getting a bit old, but I do feel confident in the ZVZ. As for Lone Terran, MONG does struggle against Zerg, so I'll need to seize that as an opportunity. MONG. Gaemo just labeled as someone who struggles against Zerg. Since Gaemo isn't really what you can call a round of 16 regular, hearing that might sting a little from MONG's standpoint. How'd you take that? Well, I think it's true that I struggle against Zerg. I'm rooting for Gaemo actually. For what reason? Because I want to meet him in the winners match. Oh, I see. A meaningful statement there. I would also like to hear from Tier 1 and Tier 2 Zerg players. Rebellions of Tier 3 and 4 have been relentless this season, but there are still Tier 1 and 2 players demonstrating their class. I'd like to ask if you can show that class today as well. Hero, how about you? Well, watching the earlier games, I saw a lot of upsets happening actually. I definitely don't want to become one of those victims, so I'll make sure to win. Great! Larva, which player do you think will be the trickiest to face today? Honestly, Zerg players are definitely the most tricky to deal with. So during my preparation, since luck plays such a huge role in matchup, I plan to leave it up to the heavens actually. Let's see which players the heavens will take side in Group D today, and we'll finish today with comments from 4 players. Hero? Yes, I'll play entertaining games today and make sure to advance. Excellent. Gaemo? I'll play well in advance. We'll look forward to it, Larva. Same here. Great. Lastly, MONG. I'll overcome my third weakness. Looking forward to it. We'll look forward to amazing games from all 4 matchups. Thank you for the interview. Brought to you by Google Play, ASL Season 22 round of 24 Group D matches are waiting for you guys. Which players will survive and head towards the round of 16? Let's jump into Group D right now.
Okay, so we're going to start this off with a ZVZ Artosis,
yes.
And we'll see how many TVZs we actually get today. Keep in mind, even though we have 3 Zergs here, there is a world where we end up with like 3 TVZs if MONG, you know, wins, goes to the winners, then loses there and goes to the final match.
Yeah, I could see that going either way. You'd expect probably the loser match to be Gaemo versus MONG, and I think that's actually a pretty good match, a pretty close one. I wouldn't mind seeing 3 Terran Berserkers, but like Gaemo is really underrated. Like, he really is. He's a strong Zerg. He's been around for a long time. He has a lot of mid results, but, like, you know, he is one of these, like, top 30 to 40 players in the world. That's not surprising to see him in here.
Yeah, Hero definitely the strongest player in this group. Although Larva, I think, you know, definitely is a threat.
Yeah.
I've always found Larva's, like, a little bit weaker ZVZ compared to some of these other guys. He's definitely a pretty brainy guy, but I feel like Hero... You know, him along with Effort, sometimes I feel like it's the best ZVZers in the world.
I know what you mean. Yeah, like Hero really is good at the matchup. I generally tend to think that the more aggressive players are the best ZVZ players. Like, yeah, for this season, I really like Effort and Soma as far as Zerg goes, just because of how Zerg heavy it is. But Hero is very, very good at Zerg Berserk. He's like one of the people that's willing to do... I don't know, like, basically whatever it takes to win. Like, he'll go Hive if he needs to. He'll do Ling All-In if he needs to. You know, he'll do just pure Muta, whatever it is. Now, Gaemo over here, looks like he hasn't had a very good run in Zerg Berserks in ASL so far.
No, unfortunately, he is at 0%, which is not something you see very often. Hasn't had a ton of ZVZ matches here. And I'll tell you something, man. Right now, I mean, we'll see how many Zergs actually advance, but ZVZ may turn out to be an extremely important matchup this season. You know, sometimes one matchup is just way more important than others because that's the matchup you're going to be playing the most, right? I mean, this was TVT last season, right? TVT turned out to be extremely important because it was just such a Terran-heavy ASL.
Yeah, and this season, of course, we have so many Zergs. It's kind of crazy, so... Your Zerg vs. Zerg skill is going to come in big if you want to go far. We're going to go to knockout here for the first match. Hero versus ggaemo about to start. Very excited to see if ggaemo is going to be able to hold up against these other Zergs. Like, if he made it to the next round, that would really be what this season is looking like so far.
I was going to say it would be in line with what's happened so far. Like, it's just that, you know, nothing quite makes sense for who's advancing. All right, guys, we're going to go into game 1 here of Group D on Knockout. Okay, so we've got cross spawns here. Hero in the top right and ggaemoda in the bottom left. Quick updates here. We hear you guys. We know you love that AI voice in the translation, so we're keeping it forever, okay? Big celebration here. No, just kidding. We know some of you guys are upset by what you heard in the translations last week. So here's what the deal with that. Ziggy is on holiday with his mother, traveling around Korea. He just finished getting his PhD. Congratulations to him. We got a new guy to come in and do the translations. He did translate it, but then he didn't like his voice, so he submitted an AI voice, which we did not direct him to do. But now we've got Jin, and so we agree. We think a human voice sounds better, but we ended up getting pulled into a debate about AI that we don't want anything to do with, actually.
Absolutely nothing to do with. So, yeah, big thanks to the guy who did fill in for the first 3 episodes. And thank you to Jin for stepping in here. And, of course, you guys should know Jin. You can check out his channel. I think it's Jin Brood War now. It used to be Jin 5000 on YouTube. Yes. And he does lots of translations for the scene. And he's fantastic. He's such a big part of the English-speaking scene. So, yeah, we're glad to have him. Thank you.
Yeah, so in this game, we've got pool first on both sides after the Overlord had started here. Actually, right after as the Overlord finished, actually. So we're going to wait and see where the deviation's going to be in the build orders. You know, they're going to find each other very, very late being in cross spawns here.
Yeah, that's pretty far away from each other. And I think that cross-spawn games actually give us a lot of interesting stuff happening, just because it's hard. Like, if you get into Mutalisks, it's hard to fly all that way across the map and get things done. Whereas if you're close spawn, it's like, okay, if the mutas are out of position for a second, you can kind of get across there. That oftentimes is not the case in these cross-spawn games. Now, they both are going for expansions quickly here as well, so still completely mirrored builds.
Right. Now we got to see, is it going to be layer first or Ling speed first? That's the next big fork in the road here, as both guys are getting gas. Would not be shocked if it's going to be layer first on both sides. Basically, when the overlords here in the top left meet, you'll get the confirm on where your opponent is right now, because they'll see they both went in that direction. So the overlords seeing each other here now will tell each player exactly where the other guy is. And so we're going to have one Ling come out on the map here for ggaemoda. And we're actually having one also move out here for Hero. He wants to keep the rest in the back because there's the possibility that you would run around with all your Lings and get counterattacked here. So they're both going to cross each other here in the middle of the map. Everything completely mirrored so far. We're going to see, yep, there it is, the layer for both sides as well.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see, right? Like how closely the line is held between these two, where they're just nailing everything like at the same second. You know, it is pretty mapped out, some of these early build orders, right? That's kind of a neat thing about Zerg vs. Zerg, where it's more mapped out than some of the other matchups, just because the games are so short and so exacting. You know, like they know about every single drone and what missing or getting that drone might mean.
Yeah, and drones are more valuable. The workers in ZVZ are more valuable than they are in any other matchup, because you can't get a lot of them. Basically, the whole way the game develops, you know, the source of the Zergling or the Overlord or the drone or the Muta is all from that larva, right? Yeah. So if you lose even 1 or 2 drones, it's pretty devastating, because you have to start making attacking units pretty quickly. The ZVZ is by far the most constricted, tight matchup out of any matchup in StarCraft 1 or 2 for that matter.
Yeah, it's like almost exactly opposite of like Terran versus Terran, for instance.
Yeah.
You know, in Terran vs. Terran, you might in the mid game lose 16 SCVs, and you're like, and then the game went on for another hour and I barely won. You know, it's
right.
Unless you're playing Flash, of course, and then it's like, oh no, you're instantly dead. But it's I don't know, it adds a lot of flavor. I actually kind of like ZVZ overall. I feel like every time I cast a ZVZ, I'm like, that was actually pretty good.
ZVZ is a fun matchup. I remember, you know, the early days playing ZVZ and kind of thinking like, is this really how it works? Is there no way to go for like Hydras or no way? You know, it's like, are you stuck going Ling Muta no matter what? And really, it kind of is the case. Although we have had games where we end up getting into Hive Tech, which has been fun. ggaemoda is going to come out here. And keep in mind, the Spire's going to finish on both sides. There is a technique where you basically don't make any mutas right away and make more Lings and try to flood them and overwhelm them. I'm not clear if that's what ggaemoda wants to do this time around.
Yeah, he's pulling back at the moment with those Lings, and he's splitting them into a couple groups. So he might be looking for like a flank or a run by or something. I don't think this is a good idea. I think keeping all of your stuff together is probably a little bit better. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and counter, and Hero's going to hold the ramp and has way more Lings that are going towards ggaemoda. So we'll see if this works out. ggaemoda going up into that main, and he goes up his own ramp here as well.
So he might have to ditch the hatchery here. The question is, can the Lings actually break this? Meanwhile, all of ggaemoda's Lings are going to go into the main. They're going to kill all the drones. As long as ggaemoda can just keep this blocked off and buy a little bit more time, he should be fine. The Spire's going to go down, which is massive because he won't be able to have the Mutalisk tech anymore. Oh my god, I think ggaemoda just killed Hero.
I think you're right. There's just not going to be enough Mutalisks out. All he needs to do is clear these Lings, maybe make a sunken colony, and then go across the map. Like, he's not going to lose this Spire at all. Even if he loses a bunch of drones, that's fine. He could lose his natural. That's fine. Hero has to make an evolution chamber right now, right? Like, he's got 4 mutas. Oh, dude, he only has 4 drones. ggaemoda has so much more supply. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
It's like what we were talking about earlier. Sorry, go ahead, Tastosis.
No, I'm just, like, surprised and impressed. Like, ggaemoda, you know, we were talking about how he is definitely an underrated Zerg. And then he just destroys Hero in the first engagement. This is Hero's only real chance right now is this attack. And he does hit with the Scourge, but it doesn't matter. ggaemoda's still up in Muta.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is that ggaemoda can just continue to produce, right? And so I think Hero's going to have to tap out here. Yeah, there it is, GG. Kind of a funny game, you know. It just turned into like this split-second decision, and Hero had to figure out how many more Lings does he want to send back to defend his base, and how many does he want to attack with. And I think ggaemoda made a really smart call, not just with attacking in, but also with ditching his natural expansion hatchery and just blocking the ramp. He realized this is all going to come down if he can kill a few more drones than his opponent first. Yeah. And that's how it went down. And of course, when you lose the Spire, especially when you're down on that many drones, it takes too long to make the Spire, even if you had the money, but you only have 4 drones. So making another Spire is also like giving up, in this case, literally 25% of your income here with your workers. It's crazy. By the way, that is an insane upset to start this group off with. Hero is by far considered the best in this group. He's going to the losers match. And we're going to a break. Coming up next, guys, Larva versus MONG.
Tell me now, while the lights are low, do you wanna get down? Do you wanna get down, baby boy? That look you give me, let me know you wanna get down. We can take it fast or take it slow. Gonna get down. Can you feel the heat? I'm moving with the beat, baby. Can you feel the heat? I'm moving with the beat, baby. Can you feel the heat? I'm moving with the beat. Get down, 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 homie. take it slow, we'll take it fast. Gonna get down now. Gonna get down, gonna get down. Can you feel the heat? Gonna get down, oh, gonna get down, gonna get down. Can you feel the heat? Can you feel the heat? I'm moving with the beat, baby. Can you feel the heat? I'm moving with the beat, baby. Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down on me. Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down on me. We'll take it fast, or take it slow. We'll take it fast. Gonna get down now. Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down on me. Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down on me. We'll take it fast, or take it slow. We'll take it fast. Gonna get down now.
There it is, the Google Play Point. These points get you more than a high score. Play, earn, and redeem them for exclusive rewards that supercharge your gameplay. Or score the latest must-have gear and up your game with sweet accessories. You're already winning. Now go get the rewards with Google Play Points. Redeem now and go reward yourself.
ASL
Welcome back,
시즌
everybody.
24
Thank you for
2조
waiting.
경기 함께하고
We got a
계십니다.
short one.
앞서
That
펼쳐졌던
is how
오늘의 첫
ZVZ
번째
can go
경기에서
sometimes.
김경호
Coming up
선수가
now, though,
조일장 선수를
we're
상대로
going to have a little
승리를
TVZ here,
거두고
Larva
먼저
versus MONG. I think
승자전으로
this is going to be
향했습니다.
actually
자, 두 번째
quite an
경기
interesting
만나보시기에
match.
앞서서 이벤트
Yeah,
안내해드리겠습니다.
I think this is actually a really good one because
이번 시즌
when you think about just
유니폼 한정 판매가
stylistically, yeah,
24간
Larva's
기간 동안 이어지고
definitely a bit
있습니다.
better. Like
이번
he's a
시즌에는
champion, he's
온라인과
really, really
오프라인 판매가
smart.
진행되는데요.
Like that's kind of the way I always look at Larva. He's a
비롯해서
cognitive player, which we don't have a lot of players like that, where it's like he'll win. It'll be based off of like just kind of having a better counter to something or something thought out a bit better or just like a really smart move during the course of the game. But he's not super scary macro-wise, micro-wise, anything like that compared to a lot of the other pros. And then you have MONG, who is a pretty simple macro Terran, which he generally MONG has kind of a hard time in Terran vs. Zerg. that's been like his weak matchup for years and years. But Larva doesn't have, I don't know, like one of those scary features that will scare you about a Zerg player. Do you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think that Mong's like all around like a pretty solid player. He's really good. Larva, he seems to be good, but I don't know about you, but I always had this impression that like after he won an ASL, it didn't seem like he was ever as strong as that moment per se.
100%.
You know what? And I mean, I guess maybe that sounds weird how I say it. It's like, yeah, if he was that strong, he would have won ASL again. But I do think that there is. He just seems to be. I don't know, not as scary as previous seasons. And I think this ASL, like all the ASLs we've had, has been so competitive. But let's see what he brings here today. Again, this has been a very unusual season, so we might want to keep our eye on Larva here.
Yeah. Like I'm down for Larva to have another great season. I do think they basically got the monkey off his back. He won a championship that he wanted, and he kind of like almost stepped back from StarCraft a little bit. But he's still really good, man. Like, and he's been grinding like crazy lately. He's been on all hours of the day practicing StarCraft. So I think he wants to have another good season coming up.
It kind of reminds me of Rain, actually, where Rain won, and then like his YouTube and his stream got so big, and then he was doing other types of content. And I think that was definitely true here for Larva as well, where it just seemed like Larva was so his YouTube was massive. He was doing this whole like I think learning MMA on his YouTube channel and getting into fitness stuff. So sometimes you have these successes and then you almost evolve as a content creator and as a personality, but it's cool to see that he's still competing here. And I think this could be a group he can get out of, especially when you consider the fact that Hero is in the losers match. And I think Hero is the scariest ZVZ. I think if we had all the Zergs in this group play ZVZs like 100 times against each other, I think Hero comes out way ahead. But it's possible that Larva can win here against Mong and then beat ggaemoda and just avoid Hero entirely.
Absolutely. Like, I think it's a very good chance Larva wins the group now, because he won't actually fall to the same type of thing Hero will in Zerg vs. Zerg. That's kind of the funny thing. Like, Larva will already have it planned out. He will have seen that ZVZ and be like, yeah, I'm not going to lose to that. So, yeah, I think this match actually is going to dictate a lot, because I also think Mong can take out ggaemo. Like, I think that's very reasonable for him if he can take out Larva. I can never see Mong beating Hero.
Okay, into this game, both players on the left side of the map, Larva in the bottom and Mong in the top. A quick plug for the Patreon, guys. Patreon.com/ASL English. Consider supporting our cause. We want to keep the history of this game alive forever.
That's right. Absolutely loving where StarCraft is at. I was just at another LAN tournament in North America, and everyone kind of has a really positive feeling right now about Brood War. ASL is just rocking. The Korean scene is doing well. The English-speaking scene is as active as it's ever been. It's a great time for the game. So thank you guys for helping us keep that alive. Could not do it without you.
Yeah. This match is going to be a fun one. I think this is, now that Heroes in the losers portion of the group, I think this is a super important match here for both these players. The ability to possibly avoid Hero entirely is going to be massive. ggaemoda is, I think, killable for both of these guys, so this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. I think ggaemo, in my mind, was the least likely to advance out of all players. So the fact that he's in the winner's match, I think both these guys are probably happy about that. Oh, looks like we're going to have a command center first from Mong, and he is going to be hitting a hatchery first from Larva. So that's going to be very, very good for Mong as far as openers goes.
Yeah, you got to remember that the last ASL we had Flash go, did he go hatchery first 3 times or 4 times?
Oh yeah, the command center first was, I want to say 4 or 5, wasn't it? It was like,
yeah, it was absurd how many times that happened, but I do feel like that's impacted a lot of behaviors from Terran. And in this case, we're going to see Mong go for it. Now, it's going to be scouted immediately because the Overlord's going to come over here and see this. I don't believe there's any kind of punish unless there's something you can do, like sending drones, like or something weird like that. I don't know how Larva is going to approach this.
Yeah, so there was the one game on Neo Sylphid with Soma against Flash where he sent like 4 drones against that. I had never seen that, and I have never seen that since. I don't think it's a real thing that's going to truly hurt a command center first. He is sending 1 drone up, and like 1 drone will cause you to lose some mining time, so I guess that's pretty decent. Maybe slow down your barracks a little bit or something. But yeah, I would agree with you. Basically, this is something I try to tell players that are like newer players starting to play StarCraft. Because they'd be like, oh, well, I mean, you scouted this. Why don't you then punish it? It's like, no. You're doing something, and then you might scout something that you can punish with what you've already chosen. But once you've scouted something, it's too late to punish it. You know?
Well, yeah, and it depends on what the opener is that you're doing, right? Like, I mean, if he had gone for pool first, then yeah, I think there is an opportunity there. But if you go for hatchery first, you both are doing the same idea, right? You're both expanding. I mean, hatchery first is super common, where command center first is much, much less common, although we're seeing it on the rise.
Yeah.
So the Lings are going to come up here. Now, it's just 4, and I think with 2 SCVs, it would not be worth it for Larva to commit here. He's going to send us another SCV here, and you can basically repair this 1 SCV and then micro it back. Yeah, this is perfect.
That was
I'm a little bit shocked Larva went for it.
Yeah.
That's like a kind of tactical setup where you can basically ensure that they will not get in and you will not lose anything other than the minerals you're spending to repair on that SCV.
Mong's micro there was really good. He was very close to losing that SCV. And in fact, if he hadn't pulled up the second SCV, he probably would have taken a little tiny bit of damage. Because if you make the 4 Lings and you can kill an SCV or even 2, you know, that's a huge swing in your favor. So it was a decent try, but Mong was just way too sharp there.
So we're gonna have the Spire started here. So it's 3 hatch into Spire. This isn't as aggro as like a 2 hatch layer. Although 3 hatch, I think you were telling me the Tastosis is much more common nowadays. Is that correct?
Oh, so no, like 3 hatch used to be really common, and the thing is, the way that we call it for Terran versus Zerg or Zerg versus Terran is like it has to do with the layer timing. So if 3rd hatch comes up before gas, that's called 3 hatch, and if it comes up after gas, it's called 2.5 hatch. And that it affects the speed of the Mutalist. So it's pretty well decided that you want the Mutas faster. So 2.5 hatch is pretty darn popular at the moment. Especially with the rise of +1 builds again, which actually Mong is doing a +1 build. You don't really want to have a 3rd base out on the map against someone getting like 4 or 5 barracks, mass Marines with +1, because it's going to be too hard to hold both locations. So the build that Larva's doing is actually decent against what Mong is doing, but Mong's build is stronger. Like if Terran gets away with command center first, their build is stronger. And that comes at the cost of, if you go pool first, this build just dies.
So this is, I feel like we do talk about this a lot on this map, but we got to point it out. You're very close together.
Yes.
Terran can reach Zerg very quickly here. I mean, you basically step right out of your base and go directly down and you're there. Where a lot of other maps, you get pulled through the middle more. So we'll see if there's any kind of pressure that Mong can set up over here. Mong is hiding an SCV all the way in the bottom right. I don't think he's going to make a command center, but let's keep an open mind to that. You don't oftentimes see kind of like out of nowhere hidden bases in ASL, but you can win games just by hiding a base and they don't scout it and they kind of don't have a read on what's going on.
Yeah, that might just be to scout the other hatchery.
Oh, you're right. No, you're totally right. Yeah, he just wants to have the SCV there. Okay, yeah, that makes much more sense. I take it all back. Sorry.
I think he might have even been wanting to block that, and he actually just had it slightly off. So he saw the hatchery and then left with that SCV. But like, actually, if he could have blocked that, Larva might have made the hatchery somewhere else, which would do really well for Mong's build. So maybe a little error in execution, but at least he sees the timing of that hatchery.
Okay, so the Muta's not going to get too much done here. I guess he can try to just hammer at the depot up here. This is going to force a stim. It's actually pretty hard to keep this alive here. It's tough to get Marines out of there because it kind of acts like a funnel, the depot and then the upper part of that ridge. And Larva's doing some decent damage. This is pretty annoying. What Mong's going to do now is move into the middle of the map, and that'll force the Mutas to come back here, because if the Mutas aren't able to help defend, then, you know, there's a possibility that Terran could just smash the expansion. And so this kind of keeps the Zerg away from the SCVs, depots, turrets, everything else like that.
So Larva's going to play in between that group and the rally. If he can slow the rally down a little bit, that's going to be really, really fantastic for him, because the group that MONG moved out with, this is kind of a dangerously sized group. You really start hitting critical mass around 5 medics and 20 Marines with +1. And he doesn't quite have that. So look at how Larva has stopped reinforcements. He's bringing his units together. He should be able to beat that group of bio. And if he eliminates this group of bio, he's ahead. Like, this was, I'm surprised that MONG moved out. This is part of the problem I think that he has in Terran vs. Zerg sometimes. But he actually rotated in a funny direction. That was very smart, because if this gets caught, again, big advantage to Larva.
He's going to try to merge back up over here. The two Terran groups are going to come merge into one now. Now, you know, the bottom right base is, I can see some players would want to attack there, but then the Zerg could counterattack you, right? So it's probably more likely MONG's going to push towards the natural expo here. And, you know, one thing about Larva, as good of a player as he is, he never strikes me as someone like Sulky. Like, Sulky's so good at taking these fights in the middle of the map. But we'll see. We'll see. He's got a lot of Lings. He's got a lot of Mutas. And if you can just get the right angles here with the Lings and the Mutas together, sometimes you can just overpower the Terran entirely.
Yeah, that's what he's looking for. Like, he's in between the rally point once again. And MONG, he has, like, kind of the critical mass, but Larva's almost there, and he's picking off Marines. Like, Larva's very close to killing this off. Really? Yeah, he's going to be able to do it before the reinforcements come out. Larva definitely outplaying MONG so far this game. Like, this is a big kill for him.
Yeah, I think there's almost no way for Terran to be out on the map again right now. And we can see that the Hive is being rushed right into, which of course is going to lead into the Defiler tech, which is so important here. And, you know, with the way this game's looking, I mean, I feel like MONG is really moving kind of slowly now after losing that skirmish in the middle of the map.
Yeah, it's all about going back and forth with your bio ball and reinforcing over and over. Because if they're going to be sitting there, you know, making mutas, making lings, if you keep adding into your army, their army isn't going to end up beating you. But Larva did a good job kind of keeping him back, and MONG didn't play perfectly there. So Larva now going to attack into the place with the most missile turrets. Not necessarily a good choice.
I was going to say, that's kind of crazy. I was like, is he really going to move in there with his mutas? There's almost as many turrets as there are mutas in this game right now. He does manage to take out what's out here on the map. And, you know, I think he could just go for it. Yeah, I don't even think MONG should be trying to save this. He needs to run back and get to safety. And the problem now is that I think it's physically impossible to stop the Zerg from getting the Hive tech. I think he's going to get the Defiler mound. He's going to have lurkers coming up here. You know, the truth is, he could just bum rush him with lurkers and probably just run him over. I don't see a tank. In fact, there is not going to be a tank in this game because the factory's already floating.
Exactly. He's going to try it. Like, this is when you kill a bunch of Terran bio and keep them in their main. If you can get 5 to 6 lurkers in front of their base, the game is over. There's just no coming back from that. And he's trying, and MONG knows he's going to try. Like, he's trying to come out once again. And that isn't the right location. There's still plenty of areas for MONG to move through. Larva wants to get into that area right in front of the natural. I don't think he's going to quite be able to get that containment up, but Larva's really far ahead right now.
Okay, you know, for now, MONG's got an angle where maybe he can still take a fight. What's most important is that the Marines don't all get pushed back into the natural expansion, because that's like a big kind of squished space where, you know, Marines are always much better at fighting lurkers out in the open when they can kind of surround and come from different angles.
Larva's so smart.
Okay, one irradiate on the lurker.
Oh my god. He stacked 2 lurkers. There's actually 6 there. The difference between 4 and 6 is night and day. Like, a decent arc of Marines can kill 4 lurkers. 6 lurkers is where you start to really get massacred as Terran. So that's like, I really like what he tried to do there, but the double irradiate does force him back. And MONG does a good job of kind of staying in this game and pushing Larva back. But, like, there's not enough pressure from MONG to really do anything. And Larva is going to grow uncontested for now.
So he's going to get these lurkers burrowed over here and basically push this drone down here. And okay, he actually manages to get the hatchery started before it could be denied there. So, you know, I gotta say, a minute ago, it looked like this game was about to end. I think Mong is in a position where we're gonna keep this game developing. But of course, the Dark Swarm is gonna be very, very difficult to deal with. And we'll see how Mong wants to try to shift how this game is gonna be played once that comes up. Oh man, a couple of irradiates here.
I'm not sure where he was going with those lurkers. That seemed a little bit sloppy. 3 lurkers here. Okay, plenty more. I was gonna say 3 is breakable, but this amount, like 5, 6, 7, that becomes like just death for Bio. But Mong is trying to keep some pressure on. He's got his vessels down here. The thing is, he hasn't denied the 4th base. This is one of the most important things you can do in Terran Berserk is slow down that 4th base. And he just hasn't been able to do that so far.
So he had a command center making it his main, but he's also making a command center up here at 12 o'clock. And we got to see, okay, hold on. Double drop ships coming over here. There's a lot of attention in the bottom right. The pressure's really building over here. This is going to be a great opportunity to come in here and hit the main.
Yeah.
Oh, the Overlord sees it.
Oh, did he? Oh, you're right. The Lings are coming right down to help counter this.
Oh, he's got to unload fast. I don't know if it's quite enough. Yeah, you know, and with, what is it, just 1 medic here? Oh, you know, actually, I guess the Dark Swarm's going to make it a little bit harder. He just has enough to kind of try to push through here.
Yeah, I think Mong has... Oh, wow, he has 2-1, so that's what was happening. Because I was a little confused, too. I'm like, those Lings should have cleaned that. But the 2-1 upgrade's really helping. And now Mong getting into a mech switch. So this is actually going to make the game really interesting. Because Mong's weakness is kind of playing Bio. But I don't think he should float the barracks out. I think that this is actually a little bit of a mistake because if I'm Larva right now, I'm 100% sure this is an SK Terran game. Just Marine Medic Science Vessel. If he shows the barracks floating, instantly Larva's going to know that the game is shifting to a different state, which is a mech build.
I totally agree. I mean, I think he needs to be very careful about revealing his hand too quickly here. But, you know, he's going to get these factories started. These barracks, you know, they do fly pretty slowly. He might not see it right away, but the mech switch is big. The mech switch really changes the whole dynamic of the game here. The idea is you want to keep the bio that you have alive as long as possible and usually try to hold positions on the map, like stay outside their natural, stay outside this natural expansion as well. And then you start to litter everything with vultures. And if I'm correct, Tastosis, it's a lot of tanks, right?
Yeah. So you generally do start with just a ton of vultures in the switch and keeping that bio alive and keeping a little bit of pressure on. And then, like, I really like the players that go 3 or 4 add-ons of Siege Tanks after just putting mines absolutely everywhere. But, you know, right now, Larva's aware of what's going on. And I do feel like Larva's very good against mech in general. Like, he's really good at utilizing queens, finding the areas to get into that. He's good at getting the drops off. But Mong has played this game in a really interesting way. Like, he didn't know until that barracks flew over the Overlord that this was going to be a mech switch. Yeah, and you see here, he's gone for a ton of vultures, 3 add-ons, so he's going to start getting those tanks out very strongly. And he's still got enough bio and vessels that you can't switch into mutas or anything.
Yeah, this is getting pretty interesting now. We've got the Ultralisk tech out here, and it's funny because Terran, you know, they start out TVZ on 2 bases for so long, but when you do this mech switch, you can actually just balloon out on the map with expansion. So he's even taking this top right expo up here, and this is going to be tricky. You know, the answer a lot of times from the Zerg to the mech player is to basically just get a lot of queens and try to broodling the tanks. But it takes a long time for queens to get the energy for those broodlings.
Yes, that is the main thing. And you have to keep pressure on as the Terran player here. If you sit back and try to defend with mech can't hold half map against Zerg. It just cannot.
Dude, he needs to irradiate this.
I know.
He needs to. Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, that was so close.
Save that.
Yeah, taking another main, that can happen sometimes. He gets so frustrating. But yeah, like Mong is going to have to keep pressure on, and Larva's doing a good job of trying to push mines back as quickly as possible. Like if you get the mines back, you can start attacking everywhere. And if mech is playing cleanup, Zerg comes out on top there. Like mech needs to be trying to put pressure on Zerg rather than being attacked and holding on to attacks.
Okay, he's going to run up here. These tanks are pretty exposed. Is this going to hit those lurkers? Okay, he's going to try to burrow over here. You know, if he can get up here, these expansions, all of them, everything from the one just above these ultras all the way to the 12 o'clock and the top right could end up falling. So I think we're going to see a continuous flood here. You know, if there's one lurker under that dark swarm burrowed, you can't kill it unless you have a radiate. And that's going to, and this is exactly what Larva's doing. He's going to be able to hit so many of their locations because there's no way to get this mech army out there to protect it.
Yep, this was a great move from Larva. Like, he focused on getting the mines out of the way. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about how smart he is. Like, he really understands what he needs to get done. And he immediately made a hole up towards Mong's base. He's got that one lurker that was under Darkstorm. Look, put some more, puts him under. You can't even rotate vultures too quickly there. Like, this is a very tough position for Mong. And when you're playing this defensive, like, yeah, maybe Larva's being a little bit wasteful. Maybe you're even being cost efficient, but it doesn't matter because Larva's attacking you. And if Larva can just keep attacking you, eventually he's going to be able to get in queens or drops or something like that. Mech can't play cleanup against Zerg.
Yeah, and you can see 12 o'clock is falling now. This lurker over here, the mech army just can't get out. And the only thing that's really going for Terran is this top right base, but we're seeing attacks happen there. Fortunately, Mong has these Marines and medics over here, and they're kind of clogging up that ramp, but it's pretty hard to ever get up there and do what you need to do. Oh my God, these are going to die so fast. Keep in mind, you know, splash damage from siege tanks will hurt your own units. What is going on here? I keep seeing ultras kind of bounce off of this. I think he's finally got enough that just barely Mong cannot keep any of these locations up.
Mong isn't mining. There is no more mineral income for Mong whatsoever. So this game is already over. He's lost all his SCVs. I already saw him shake his head. He knows Larva has just outdone him in this mech transition. You know, I think this game really shows pretty well where Mong's strong and where he's weak. Like, he didn't move his bio around correctly in the early game. Like, he had a good build overall. He was macroing well. He kind of missed some of the little finer points of not letting his bio die. You know, this mech transition, he didn't quite hold back the flood of units from the south. And Larva has just destroyed him from here.
Yeah, I think, you know, he has reclaimed this position with the minerals over here, but I'm worried that now the income has plummeted for so long that Zerg should be able, excuse me, to just overpower him with what he's got.
Yes. Like, all Larva needs to do is throw down a couple hatcheries. Like, he already took his mineral base, which is useful against mech. Just keep making units, keep setting them up. Like, the mines are, no matter how efficient you are with the mines, like, Mong is barely mining right now. And Larva, here's the thing, too. Like, he could try to get into queens. He has enough time, I would say. And he could just go into drops. Like, you get one decent drop-off, and the game is also going to end from that.
Yeah, so I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed, Mong. He's reclaimed those bases. He's going to land a command center over here. It seems like every time we think Mong is on the brink of death, he does claw his way back into this game. But the position here for Larva has just improved. I think it would have been better if he had taken a couple of bases more quickly during this, but he's still kind of getting there. You can see he's taken that triangle base over by his main. He's taking the center right. He's taking the other base that mirrors that fresh base at the bottom that he took, this time in the bottom right. Okay, now the muted tech here, there's no Goliaths. There's no Valkyries. There are science vessels, and you can irradiate this, but like, you're going to have a lot of irradiates, and the mutas still might clean up all the tanks.
Yeah, he actually irradiates pretty much every single mutalisk at this point. But killing these tanks is like very, very worth it. Now their radiates are gone as well. Look at this. He's just going to start running through mines once again. Larva is double expanding. So he's on 5 base. He's going up to 7. And Mong just can't hold on to these positions any longer. We are going to see GG from Mong in a second here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's going to send this Ultra in over here. He's trying to just get 1 or 2 more Dark Swarms over here. He gets a Plague off over on that tank. I'm worried for Larva. He's kind of throwing stuff away. You know, one of the challenges is that you can't grab your entire army on one hotkey, right? And like, that's annoying for like, you know, Terran and Protoss, but when you're Zerg and you have like Zerglings, like, even if you hotkeyed every single, you know, all the numbers that you have on the keyboard from 1 all the way up through 9 to 0, you might still not have your whole army hotkeys. So GG. So he's going to be tapping out here, but it can be hard for Zerg to get all of that stuff over there to hit you.
Yeah.
Then again, if
Yeah.
Zerg was able to move their entire army at once, they'd probably be the strongest race in the game.
Oh, for sure. And Tastosis, they are the strongest race in the game. Come on. But yeah, actually, in a way, I think it almost helps that they can't do it because you have to just set up good attacks. You're like, yeah, Lings over here are going to be annoying. And so you send them and then you're not paying attention because you can't micro them anyways because you don't have one on hockey. So I kind of like it in a way as well. Like restrictions sometimes make you stronger strategically. But yeah, great game there from Larva. I think he outplayed MONG by like 100%. He just played a much, much cleaner Zerg versus Terran than MONG played a Terran versus Zerg. And now MONG has to play Hero, which I think is the worst matchup in the group for him by far. It's hard to imagine him beating Hero and coming out of this group.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for MONG. Okay, guys, well, we're going to go to a short break. Coming up next, another ZVZ here in Group D.
Let's make a toast just for the dream. Got it out the mud, now we living like a king. Say la 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 la. Nobody go harder than my team. Make a toast just for the dream. Started from the bottom, now she living like a queen. Yeah. We gon' drink, we gon' pour, we gon' dance up the floor. We gon' smoke, we gon' roll up. Baby, hold up, hold up, hold up. I'm the man when I roll up. If I'm there, they gon' show up. Game on lock, yeah, soda. Watch me glow. Got a cup up in my hand and they screaming my name. Cause a party ain't a party till the Cowboys came. We the legends of the night. Turning up the city to the sunshine bright. If you see me in the building, then them girls is too. And she gon' make me up to the sky time blue. We the legends of the night. Pouring up this whiskey till the sunshine bright. Yeah. All isn't lost and I'm not afraid. I'm never waking, I'm breaking through. They wanna block it, but not today. I'm never changing, I'm staying true. Ready to rock and kick in the door.
realize it when we begin. All isn't lost and I'm not afraid. I'm never waking, I'm breaking through. They wanna block it, but not today. I'm never changing, I'm staying true. In the light of the day, after the darkest the night, right after the harshest the pain gets made in a marvelous light. You smile at the thought of the way you were caught up in fright before you rejected your fate and decided to fight. Gloves off and it's rumbling time. On guard, put them up in the sky. Run forward and charge in the war with a spark in your eyes. Skip all of the falling and rise to the tallest the height. In time they will all realize you're hiding a guard deep inside. Locked in, I'm ready, I'm locked in, loaded. Locked in, I'm ready, I'm locked in, loaded. Locked in, I'm ready, I'm locked in, loaded. Loaded. Locked in, loaded. Locked in, I'm ready, I'm locked in, loaded. Locked in, I'm ready, I'm locked in, loaded. Locked in, I'm ready, I'm locked in, loaded. Locked in, loaded. Locked in, loaded. Through the highs and the lows, I decided to grow. They tried to deny what I moved, but I fight for my goals. They want me to throw in the towel, but I do not know how. How could they assume I sold out? They don't know the truth, I don't bow. I ride with a blaster in hand, for the damage I plan.
There it is, the Google Play Point. These points get you more than a high score. Play, earn, and redeem them for exclusive rewards that supercharge your gameplay. Or score the latest must-have gear and up your game with sweet accessories. You're already winning. Now go get the rewards with Google Play Points. Redeem now and go reward yourself.
스타의 역사를 이어나가는 자부심. 저그 프로토스 테란 가장 많은 14명. 타시오가요 가장 많이 올라갔어요.
그 정서를 깨버렸습니다. 노력을 통해서
15년 만에 다시 한번 대결을 펼치게 됩니다. 찍어 누르는 그 힘을 보여주는 합니까 진짜 세계 첫 대급 경기. 말도 안 되는 승부 명장면이 계속. 대박의 결승전.
Okay, we are back. What's up, everybody? It's time to go on into the winners match here. And I gotta say, I'm very curious about Hero's survival. I know that's not the match we're about to talk about, but I can't stop thinking about it because, you know, we've already had a couple of crazy upsets, and Hero getting knocked out would be another one of those.
That would be. He's one of the most consistent players that there are, right? He's got, like, out of 21 ASLs, a third of them he's in the top 4 at least. Top 4 or finals. So that's some pretty insane consistency. And I do kind of still expect him to get out of this group, honestly. But that might have something to do with this matchup, because I feel like, yeah, ggaemo took him out the first game. Is he going to be able to do that twice in a day? I'm not so sure. But what if ggaemo beats Larva here? How crazy would that be for ggaemo to win this group?
I mean, that would be nuts, right? That's a really good point, right? We're talking about like whether or not Hero gets out, but if ggaemo goes on, that's nuts, because that would just be like, you know, we would put him as like tier 4, right, in this group, maybe, or tier 3 or 4, kind of close with MONG.
Yeah, he's a strong player, but one of the weakest in the tournament. You have to admit, right? Like he's probably bottom 5-ish in the tournament overall if you would just rank what they've done with their careers. So yeah, it's wild.
Okay, so we've got Larva in the top left, ggaemoda here in the bottom right, and I'm very curious. What kind of ZVC we're gonna have? I love this drawing that is so clearly him. Oh my god,
that's a great drawing. It's the third one in was amazing. Yeah, I think in the Korean scene, ggaemo actually has a decent amount of fans. He actually makes some really good content that other players don't make, where he's actually interviewing some of the other pros and like asking them like actually some really good questions that our translator Jinjin sometimes does some translations of those videos, and they're like, it's really cool. It's a more serious esporty type feel to some of those interviews. But yeah, I've really enjoyed some of the content he's made that has gotten translated for us.
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting world that we're in now, right? Like we're kind of seeing, you know, there was this universe of like people that were pro gamers, and then there were also people that made content around games, right? And we sort of have our weird spot in there, right? We're like, we've been doing commentary. We used to be competitive players. I guess in this case, Tastosis, you still are. You were just at a tournament, but it's interesting to kind of see the whole industry kind of evolve, where like, you know, now you've got guys that, you know, win ASL, but they also run big streams and they also have big YouTube channels, right? And they're taking on these other ventures, and you kind of see people find these different niches, you know. And that's certainly been the case with StarCraft 1, you know, as this has been around for so long, and we've seen people kind of dip into other areas of, you know, esports business or content creation. Yeah, and so it's cool to see him doing that.
Indeed. It's it is something that will allow them to continue to be pros, because no one's actually making their money off of winning prize money. That's like,
right.
And even if you were, you'd be winning so many tournaments that your stream and stuff would naturally grow and make you more money than the tournaments. Like, that's just the way it is. This isn't the international where you win $1 million or whatever it is, right? Like this is StarCraft 1, where you win ASL and in my opinion are the most impressive human being on earth at that moment. And you win like 20K. And it's like, okay, there's 2 of those a year. Right? Like even Sulky, I'm like, yeah, you know, you didn't win that much over the course of the years that you won.
Well, you know, it's funny because there are people that are very nostalgic for like the Team House era and all these other things, and I honestly think this is one of the better eras for kind of professional StarCraft and esports in general, where it's like, well, there's a lot of ways you can do this and make a living. That's what's most important, right? And you know, the streaming thing, it really freed pro gamers up to actually be free agents, right? You know, they don't have to rely on a team or a team owner. And, you know, not that teams are always bad in esports, but like, you know, they're not always run that well. You know, they can be big money sinks. And so the fact that you've got a guy that can just turn on his webcam and play games and people support him that way is fantastic.
And with the old Kespa way, you know, people were forced to play so much and so hard. Our favorite pro gamers just wouldn't stay in their careers for so long. And now it's forever. Right. And that's, I feel like, and the thing is, other players can still come up. Soma came up. He put in the work, he put in the effort, and he's displaced a bunch of pros. So, like, it can still happen. But we don't have to lose our top guys because it's a more reasonable schedule for them. I like it. I like it very much. I love being able to watch these guys that I've watched for 20 years.
Yeah, this is certainly much better. We're going to see, oh, he actually kind of wraps around. That could just cost him the entire game. Okay, no, the Ling pairing goes not terrible for Larva. The problem is the numbers are just so high here.
Uh-oh, Tasteless.
Oh, my God.
There is the second hatch. He can drill here really well. Good micro there from ggaemo. He's putting a lot of damage onto this morphing Sunken, but that is a good drill again from Larva. More Lings hatching out right now.
Keep in mind, when the Sunken finishes, it loses 100 HP. So that's going to be a 9 HP Sunken that can be popped like a balloon, right as it finishes.
ggaemo.
And there's more Lings coming. Oh, my God.
Yeah. If that
he already took out some drones.
This is really bad for Larva.
It makes you wonder if he should have had the spire to the right and the sunken in between the spire and the spawning pool. But here we go. This is, dude, this is over. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
What is this group?
I can't. What is this season? What is this season?
What is this season?
GG, and ggaemoda is going to go ahead and win. He is going to advance in first place in this Zerg heavy group. That is, dude. I mean, he was well prepared. He really smashed both Hero and Larva in Zerg vs. Zerg. I'm really happy for him, man. It's been a while since ggaemoda's been around to 16, but again, a very underrated player. This guy is super strong.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at this. I'm like, this show's weird. They need better writers. This isn't what I'm supposed to have. Like, what is going on? I can't believe that he actually did it. Good call. He basically did not go into any kind of mutatech, just or pocketing money for mutas and basically overwhelmed the ramp. He got a really good wrap around on the ramp. There was a little opening. He popped one Zergling and then he spilled through, and that's when the damage started to pile up. And that's going to be haunting for Larva, who never really got to get into the ZVZ he wanted to play.
No, certainly he did not. Wow. That means that only one of Larva and Hero can advance. And who knows, maybe MONG has a sick run here and gets out as well. That would be extra surprising. But interview first here with ggaemoda.
ASL Season 22 Round of 24 Group D matches are underway. It seems the string of upset is far from over. Let's meet today's first player to advance to Round of 16, ggaemoda. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. ggaemoda, what an astounding performance today. For the first time in very long while since Season 13, you've earned your very first CBZ victory in ASL, as well as advancing to Round of 16. On a personal level, there were so much you overcame today. First off, how does it feel to return to Round of 16 after such a long absence? Honestly, I still can't believe it. And because it has been so long since I advanced, I'm just so happy and almost feel like crying. It's completely understandable to feel overwhelmed here. Taking down Jaedong in the qualifier was definitely not a fluke or end of your ggaemoda versus Z, as you proved again today. You took both Tier 1 and Tier 2 Zergs, both Hero and Larva. Considering you didn't have a single ZVZ win in ASL prior to this, it's almost unbelievable how dominant you look today in best of 1 mirror matches. What kind of change enabled you to lead yourself in such victories, ggaemoda? Well, today, from the moment when I was at home, I kept thinking to myself, let's just make good decisions today. When using stuff like Zerglings, let's strike decisively. I think those decisions are really crucial. In match 1 against Hero, you took initiative with your Zerglings to destroy his spire. Was that play also purely from your own decision making? In that split second, I saw all his Zerglings move out, and I thought, if I just sit back and defend, I'm going to be behind. So I decided to sneak them around, and that really paid off. In the winner's match against Larva, your Zergling bust was truly remarkable as well. I believe that many Zerg players, including Jaedong, have expressed that this aspect of your play is very scary to deal with. Does it feel like you'd be okay facing Zergs in round of 16 as well? How do you feel? Well, Zerg vs Zerg always feels like a 50-50 when I play it. Well, when heading into round of 16, there's actually one person waiting for me. Who would that be? Snow is always lying there waiting for me to advance, so he can get his revenge. Now that I've advanced, if Snow picks me, I think we can have a really fun match. That sounds like a really fun matchup to look forward to. Your friends traveled all the way from Changwon to watch your performance today, along with your fans and colleagues. You must feel proud about being able to show them such a cool victory. Could you share some of your thoughts? First of all, to everyone in my stream who cheers me on, thank you so much. And to my friends who traveled far, thank you. Also to everyone at K-Uni who came to cheer me on. Playing with all that cheering made me so happy, and showing them my win makes me proud. Also, it's all thanks to chairman of K-Uni that I'm still able to continue my career as a pro gamer. I love you so much, K-Uni chairman. Ggaemoda, we look forward to seeing great things at the group nomination after such a long break. Congratulations on the victory. And with that, we spoke with Ggaemoda, who pulled off a massive tier for upset here in Group D. We'll take a brief break and return shortly with today's loser match and the finals match.
There it is, the Google Play Point. These points get you more than a high score. Play, earn, and redeem them for exclusive rewards that supercharge your gameplay. Or score the latest must-have gear and up your game with sweet accessories. You're already winning. Now go get the rewards with Google Play Points. Redeem now and go reward yourself.
All right, back to the TVZs here. Hero versus Mong coming up. This is going to be a tough one for Mong. Hero is such a strong player. You know, I've always thought, you know, for some of these Zergs, you know, ZVZ is such a tough matchup because it can just break.
Yes.
Right? You know, PvP and TVT, I think there's a little bit more. I don't even know how to describe this. You're just nowhere near as brittle. You can certainly lose fast in any matchup in StarCraft, but ZVZ's a rough one. But you know, the thing is, a TVZ with these two players, I think it's hard to imagine a world where Mong beats Hero. And again, if that happens, it's another insane upset.
Yeah, I think the right word is volatility. There's high volatility in Zerg vs. Zerg. And, you know, everything has less volatility than that. That's for sure. So hard to get those upsets sometimes in Terran vs. Zerg, which I think is pretty low volatility. There's a little bit at the beginning of the game with build orders. But after that, after the initial opening, it feels like the better player is very oftentimes going to take it.
Okay, so we're into this best of one now. It is Mong down here in the bottom right and Hero in the top right. Just our final plug, guys, for the Patreon. We always do 2 of these every ASL. Just consider signing up if you haven't already. Patreon.com/ASL English. We would love to earn your support.
That's right. Thank you to everyone who has signed up. Appreciate you guys very, very much. It's been a crazy season so far. And I love how every season has a completely different feel. And I can't wait to see, you know, we're on season 22. We're still going to be doing this in season 52, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, one nice thing is like this game's been around for so long. Like, you don't go like a quarter of a century with a game, right? And then go, oh, but at year 30, they stop.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think so.
I mean, one thing that's always sort of been around in StarCraft ever since the beginning was people talking about how people are going to stop playing or this isn't going to keep happening. And I think there's a point where eventually it's been around for so long, you're like, I don't know, man. I mean, it just seems like it's got an audience. It's got a player base. And, you know, I've loved that we just get to learn more about StarCraft and see how the game develops and kind of see the metas change and see the new maps that they're brought in, especially this season. And the you know, the way that can impact the game and how we understand it. It's really cool.
Absolutely. It's well, it keeps it so interesting, you know, having all these different maps and everything. Although I will tell you, as a Terran player, I would take Attitude as our only map for the rest of the time. Very comfortable map for Terran. And by the way, Mong is doing a wall. This is one of the maps that was introduced last season, and last season's maps all had perfectly wallable main bases, which is a nice little change that you can do that if you want. It kind of allows a little bit more flexibility when choosing your build orders, which I like. I like that. I think that that's like a very cool add, because you'll always have like some bases it works on, but that's the most annoying thing as a Terran, where like you're like, well, I have these ideas for this map, but I'll only spawn it in this type of spawn like half the time. So it's like the map just becomes this amalgamation of completely different builds you have to use based on where you end up spawning, which is super annoying.
Right, exactly. So like what Tastosis means is you can wall on this map and they cannot get lings through.
Yes.
Where a lot of wall-ins, lings can spill through. And you know, lings are Lings are so much stronger than Marines early on. I mean, Marines, they get good when you get enough of them, right? And especially if you're like, wedged in positions where it's hard to be surrounded. But, you have to, of course, in any build order, factor in the initial things that can kill you early, right? So with Wallens that you can make like this, you're much safer, which allows you to do things like tech. And in this case, he's going to go for a super fast factory into a command center immediately on the low ground. So the Vulture can basically protect that SCV that's making that.
Yeah, this is a pretty normal build right now. And like a lot of times what'll happen is you'll go add-on after this and then go into your starport and go like Valkyrie plus Vulture. That's a very, very popular build right now. And yep, there's the add-on, and we'll see if he throws down the starport. Generally, like, you start the starport after the add-on's done, and you get like speed and vultures going. But look at Hero here. He's throwing down the Hydralisk Den. Now, the Hydralisk Den, there's really good all-ins against Vulture Valkyrie, but like, let's say that he goes second factory, then this Hydralisk Den actually becomes very weak from there. Of course, it still can work. Anything can happen in this game, but yeah, it does look like it's a Vulture Valkyrie build, and these all-ins have become really sharp.
Yeah, so anybody who's watched any amount of ZVT knows that you don't normally go for Hydra tech against Terran, right? You're almost always going to see a layer tech, but this is engineered specifically to blindside MONG, who's doing kind of an unusual techie build. Now we got to watch the Vultures. If he gets us around on the Vultures, this game is probably just over.
Dude,
he
saw the Lings coming.
At least one.
How does this happen? He saw the Lings coming, and his Vultures were in the middle of nowhere, and he didn't react in time. I can't even explain it.
Well, I got some good news for you, Tastosis. That wall in, Lings can't get through.
That is true.
It's okay.
That is true. But if this is the all-in I think it is, he's probably researching Burrow, and he's bringing up Hydras, and there's not much counterplay if you lose those two first Vultures. It's like, it's already very, very hard. But yeah, as these Hydras come up, like, what are you supposed to do exactly against the Hydras with just a few Vultures? Hero's just going to roll them over.
Vultures aren't really made to fight Hydras either. Oh my god. He's going to get the block. Oh my god. This is... Okay, well, there you go. GG.
Okay, well, that was... I thought you said we already had the worst game in ASL, Tasteless. Like, when HM lost to one Marine or whatever.
Well...
Yeah.
I guess there's next season.
Dude, that was...
Perfect play by Hero.
Yeah. Hero did it well, but, like, that was... embarrassingly bad for MONG. The fact that he had an SCV out there, he saw the Lings coming, he saw it was 10 to 12 Lings, and then he had two Vultures that were split, and he wasn't staring at them as the Lings came. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It's like, okay, if he made this many Speedlings, it's not like he's going to macro mutas after that. These Speedlings aren't just to remove an SCV. He's coming for you. And he literally instantly lost both the Vultures. It doesn't even make sense. He wasn't in a defensive stance. Bad game for MONG. Terrible game for MONG. He's out. We're going to go to a commercial break. Bad game. Larva versus Hero is going to be coming up next after this quick commercial break.
It's like the closest thing to breathing underwater. I just want to feel it deep within. Lost in it with you, and there's no other now. Save me 'cause I'm lost inside desire. Every minute that I'm with you, I get higher. I feel I'm addicted to the fire now. Can you save me 'cause I'm lost inside desire? Right now, I got a feeling that it's right now, and I've been trying to get the hype now, yeah, I've been living off the hype now, we go round and round, right now, I got a feeling that it's right now, and I've been trying to get the hype now, yeah, I've been living off the hype now, we go round and round. I'm not your fool, not your friend. You had your chance, so don't pretend. You change your tone when the room gets quiet. Turn your guilt into a full-blown riot. You blame the world for the things you do, but the mirror's got the truth on you. Don't you ever play. Boo, boo. No more second chances, cheap romances. No more giving pieces away of me. Do you love the sound of when you make an excuse? Dress them up like they're all absolute. You blame the world for the things you do, but the mirror's got a hold over you. Broke my trust, now I'm going to break you. So don't you ever play.
There it is, the Google Play Point. These points get you more than a high score. Play, earn, and redeem them for exclusive rewards that supercharge your gameplay. Or score the latest must-have gear and up your game with sweet accessories. You're already winning. Now go get the rewards with Google Play Points. Redeem now and go reward yourself.
스타의 역사를 이어나가는 자부심. 저그 프로토스 테란 가장 많은 14명. 타티어가요 가장 많이 올라갔어요.
그 정서를 깨버렸습니다. 노력을 통해서.
15년 만에 다시 한번 대결을 펼치게 됩니다. 찍어 누르는 그 힘을 보여주는 합니까 진짜 세계 첫 대급 경기. 말도 안 되는 승부 명장면이 계속. 대마의 결승전.
ASL Season 22.
Thanks for waiting, everybody. This is it. Time for the final ZVZ to close out Group D. And this should be a pretty good one. I do think Hero is favored here. I think he's just a stronger ZVZ specifically player. But, you know, Larva, he's got a lot of really smart ideas. It is totally possible Larva could take this. But, you know, if I was a betting man, I would put my money on Hero.
I'm really interested to see if one of these guys actually is willing to go hatchery first, because we haven't seen that yet today. Everyone's been going for the quicker pools, the quicker gases, and everything.
Yeah.
Well, out of these two, I would like to see that. I love Heroes hatch first place, and I think that would be really, really fun if you went for that.
Okay. Both players sharing the top. Larva on the upper right and Hero in the upper left. We saw the Overlord initially headed to the left. He went down, but Larva is going to be going left here too. Okay. That's pretty important here. So both the Overlords are going to spot each other in the middle of the map. So this is going to be a kind of a balanced amount of info in this ZVZ. Not that that always matters, but you know, if you guys can both see each other immediately, it's kind of a weird situation because there's not a lot of ways you can hide things in ZVZ once there's an Overlord over your base. You know, you can only build on creep. They can count your drones. They can see if you're making drones. They can see if you're making lings. So they can follow you pretty closely.
And you know, it's nice and even that they're both actually scouting right into each other immediately. So we'll see what these guys are going to end up opening with. It was interesting to see that Larva actually has a pretty big winning record on Hero. Since he did 4-0 him in a round of 4, I think it said previously. So, yeah, it wasn't what I expected. I generally do consider Hero to be a bit stronger Zerg versus Zerg overall. But, you know, like we were talking about, a lot of volatility in this matchup. A lot of things can go wrong for Zerg players because of that. You might recall, Tastosis, early in ASL, like seasons 3, 4, 5, you and I were talking a lot about how we felt like Sulky should probably win in ASL, but Zerg vs. Zergs were kind of messing him up. Because it already at that time already felt like Sulky was maybe the best Zerg vs. Terran and Zerg vs. Protoss player in the world. And it took a while, but eventually he did it, right? And was able to take everyone down. But Zerg vs. Zerg can really mess you up, as you've seen. Like, ggaemoda against similar caliber players from Terran and Protoss to what Larva and Hero are for Zerg, I don't think makes it out.
Yeah, you know, it's a brutal matchup. We are having asymmetry here in the opening builds, by the way. It was hatch first for Hero, something Tastosis was kind of hoping to see Hero go for. He is very strong with these hatch first openings.
Yeah.
Larva has gone for pool gas first with a later expand here. So both players are expanding. They're going to get there in different times in the game. And there'll be different opportunities that will be created for each player here as we watch this pan out. He's only made 2 lings. We'll see if he even goes up to 4. And this is what we were talking about with these like high information ZVZs, right? Mm-hmm. You basically can just see what's being produced over here. Although Larva's, I would say, is more complete. He got to go over the hatchery and then see the main where, you know, Hero doesn't know how many more lings were made. He has his second Overlord combing the map through the ling scouting path.
Yeah.
And he's going to see there's just 2 lings. And this may stay pretty econ heavy here unless somebody decides to kind of opt into aggression.
Well, Larva's going to put a little bit of pressure on. You know, Hero just having his hatchery up first means that he will have more Larva, and he should be slightly leading on drones. So you always can see that player go into heavy lings. But one thing I really like about Hero's hatchery first, I think he's the best hatchery first Zerg vs. Zerg player out there. I feel like he has so much flexibility with it. Like a lot of people that go hatchery first, they see the quicker layer and they go, okay, I'm just going to pile on lings and go. But Hero is so comfortable going into like a spore-based defense and playing a longer game in ZVZ, which you can't say for a lot of players.
Right. He has made more lings. Now, Larva actually ran these lings around the Overlord to get 2 more in here, but I don't know if this is going to work out at all. He does have ling speed. He can try to go for a drone over here, but the pull away from Hero is pretty quick. He's going to instead try to come in here and go for another drone. He's also not going to be able to get that. Now, Larva is going to be the one defending because Hero's made so many lings. I think he has to try to go across the map with this. He's going to set up for a counterattack with these 2 lings that are hiding over here. And the Spire for Larva's already started.
Yeah. What about Hero over here? Okay, so Hero does actually have
got it too.
Yeah, it seems like his Spire isn't that much slower than Larva's Spire, is it? So yeah,
I think actually it might be ahead of Larva Spire. I think I might have misread that.
I think so. I think it might just be slight. Okay, they're like super close. It's like 2 seconds on Heroes. So that's basically the same time. Second gas going up quicker for Hero here. So even though he is down on gas just slightly, he's going to be able to make that up very, very quickly once this gas finishes. Lots of Zerglings being made, like really lots of Zerglings. And Larva doesn't see that. He's already evacuated the Overlords. You don't want them to just insta-die when the mutas finish, right? So you kind of run them out, put them into positions that might give you an advantage in some way if the mutas go after them.
So we got to see how many mutas are actually going to be made here. It doesn't look... Well, hold on. Hero might actually do the Ling Flood. No, never mind. Okay, is he going to go for this? He's going to send these Lings out. He basically was trying to bait the first counterattack, and Larva didn't bite. He's going to keep those 2 Lings back there. He is going to send another drone over here to mine gas. It looks like what both these guys are doing is having just 2 mine gas at their expansion. It's a pretty drone-light game. The Lings are going to come in here and put a little bit of pressure. And, you know, without a sunken colony, you can kind of abuse the Zerg player like this. But as the mutas hatch, Larva has to back up. And I think that was a questionable call.
Yeah.
You know, even just dropping those few Lings, it makes it a lot harder to ever attack it again there.
Luckily for Larva, I guess in a manner of speaking, he has a sunken. So even if he's down a little bit on Zerglings, if he plays a defensive game, I don't think Zerglings will hurt him. But definitely you have to look at this and say that Hero has the early advantage. Killing this Overlord, causing that supply block, getting his mutas out just slightly faster, blocking the attack from Larva. It feels like Larva has to be a little bit creative now to get back into this game.
Okay, so he's going to be coming up here with these mutas. It is 6-5, and he's going to have 2 Scourge in here with this. He's going to start to hit the Overlords. That's going to supply block Larva. If he can get maybe 1 more Overlord here, maybe even without that. Okay, I don't know about the Tastosis. I think Larva's making a big mistake. He's going to try to counterattack to draw the mutas back. Yeah, he does end up not getting cornered or pinned.
Yeah, him turning around there, I think, was really, really important. I liked the idea because Hero was kind of far out with the mutas, so sometimes you can fly in and get some drones. Unable to do so. Right now, supply blocked as well, so you can see Hero is starting to get ahead on supply, and he's picked off a lot of Zerglings. There's been, like, no free Zergling kills for Larva here. So it is feeling a lot better for Hero at the moment.
Yeah, he is no longer supply blocked, but the Lings are going to come up here. And, you know, I think he needs these Lings back here to defend because the Sunken Colony is just not going to be enough. Oh, my God. Now, this is the problem. The mutas are going to be hard to fight, but the Lings may end up winning the game before the air fight is even decided. And right now, you know, Larva's playing keep away from the Scourge, and this means all the drones are going to fall.
Oh, dude, this
now,
is a
Larva's
crazy
doing his own
train.
counterattack. Yeah, this is crazy. I don't know how this ends. It's going to come down probably to who has the bigger set of mutas here.
Yeah.
At the same time, you know, you be careful how many drones you end up actually keeping. He is going to go for the Spire as well, which means Hero cannot make anything else. He has enough gas to make 1 more muta if he wants to before that Spire's killed.
Larva, I think, was a little bit, like, he wasn't decisive enough here. Hero stayed longer. He's dealing more damage. Like, this could have been a building elimination race, and maybe Larva looked at it and said, I'm not going to be able to win that, so I have to fly home and clear this up. Because now it feels like Hero is maybe even further ahead than he was before. But that is a lot of Mutalisks for Larva.
I mean, there's so many Scourge here. Okay, here we go. Again, the Scourge have to connect. It looks like Larva may... He may actually have the muta count lead here. Hold on. No, Hero, I think, is going to just have to be 1 or 2 mutas up in this fight. It'll depend on how the glaives spread out here. Hero does great targeting.
Ooh.
And with like a bunch of bruised mutas, he somehow ends the game with 6.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Wow.
And, you know, that's too bad. I know Larva has a ton of fans out there, but he is eliminated early on here, losing a couple of Zerg for Zerg games. And Hero advances, which you'd always think that Hero's going to advance. But it is sad to see Larva go like that. So, yeah, another kind of big elimination in this early round of 24. Another upset group. 3 out of 4 have been upsets.
Yeah, that was a good game. That was an interesting ending there. They both going for the base trade. I think, you know, just enough Scourge were squeezed out there by Hero that it was a tough fight. I'm surprised the Muta fight at the very end was as close as it was. I think Hero did a better job of actually specifically target firing. It seemed like Larva had kind of was basically like A-clicked. You know what I mean? Like they were spreading and kind of hitting everything. But you know, as many upsets as we've had this ASL, I mean, even in the craziest ASL, I think Hero is supposed to be in the round of 16.
Oh, for sure. Round of 8 at least. Come on. Okay, quick interview here with Hero.
ASL Season 22 Round of 24 Group D matches have concluded. Hero, the Tier 1 Zerg, survives and advances to Round of 16. Let's meet Hero. Congratulations. Thank you. Indeed, Round of 16 lineup would not feel complete at all without Hero. Still, it felt like you faced multiple practice points today. You're closing your 2 eyes tightly right now, Hero. But still, we're glad that you managed to pull through with great results. How are you feeling right now? Honestly, in match 1, I felt like I played way too thoughtlessly, so I reflected it on a lot. Then at loser's match and in finals match, I struggled so much trying to decide what build he is, but in the end, everything came together nicely and allowed me to win, so I'm relieved. The loser's match is really a do-or-die fight with no way out, isn't it? The best of one that decides either total elimination from round 16 or earning another chance. In that match against MONG, you decided to make a bold gamble. Watching that, I thought he really is an experienced veteran of ASL. Was that Zergling all-in build the result of tons of deliberation behind it? Actually, I just react on the fly after seeing my opponent's build on instinct. It's a build I occasionally use, actually. Early on, I had a massive headache over where I should expand to natural or not. I gave it tons of thought, but I'm just glad that choice worked out in the end. In the final losers match, you went for a natural expansion after reverse scouting. Well, I did reverse scout with natural expansion behind it, but normally if you cross paths like that and get scouted, you're normally not supposed to do it. But I thought if I switch to a different build, I'll just end up dragged around at a disadvantage and move anyway. So I just powered through, and thankfully it yielded a great result. Larva was catching up quite well, matching your army count, but Hero never lost focus to the end, seized air superiority, and became protagonist, advancing to round of 16. Now you can breathe a sigh of relief and start preparing for a round of 16. You must have a lot in your mind since you need to wash away the disappointments of last season, Hero. Yeah, after losing last season and getting knocked out in the wildcard match as well, and then also losing the first match today, I felt a bit dizzy. I thought, man, I've gotten old, and that thought crossed my mind a lot. But since I've been given another chance, I feel I really have to step up and perform better before I get any older. There are many fans who have been waiting for a long time to see you make a deep run, Hero. Please share a piece of your determination with your fans. First of all, to all the fans who always support me, thank you so much. My form has been rather up and down lately, but I'll manage it and do my best to maintain a great form for round of 16. Could you also give a shout out to your practice partners? Yes, to Queen who helped me practice, Killer, Rush, and Sack. Thank you all so much. Okay, Hero, congratulations once again on advancing to round of 16. And with that, we've spoken with today's second round of 16 qualifier, Hero. Let's check out today's full match results once more.
Well, there you have it, everybody. We close another chapter of the ASL here, ending Group D. And look, these are two great Zergs to look forward to. Kind of an interesting result here. I think Hero, we knew he was going to get out. We didn't know he'd get out second place.
Yeah, I would have expected him to be in first and maybe Larva second or something like that. But Larva really failing on the Zerg vs. Terrans today, or the Zerg vs. Zergs today. I got to tell you though, that MONG game, MONG is like battling with HM for the worst game of the season. After that, that was shockingly bad. But yeah, another couple Zergs advanced. So we have 5 Zergs, 4 Terran, 3 Protoss in the round of 16 so far. And this group selection, man, is going to be very different when you look at this lineup of players. It's insane. Like, we have some of the regulars for round of 16, but like Shiny, Shuttle, Leda, Shine, ggaemoda, like there's a lot of players in there that you don't normally see so far.
Okay, so tomorrow, guys, do join us. It's going to be a little switcheroo here. It's going to be 3 Terrans and 1 Zerg this time around. But this is a crazy stacked group here. JYJ and Solkey here. Oregon and Sac. It's going to be interesting to see how they hold up. But should be a lot of fun.
Best of ones make this a crazy group as well. Oregon brings insane cheese all-in builds. Sock is one of the best like 1-1-1 players in the world. JYJ is one of the best bio players in the world, and Solkey is the best Zerg vs. Terran we've ever seen. So, but he's going up against 3 completely different styles of Terran. A hard match, hard group for him to prep for, even though they're all Terran players, just because they play so differently.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Solkey, I mean, he's got to get out, right? But again, it's been a weird season. Expect anything.
Well, that is going to be a lot of fun. Cannot wait to see that tomorrow. And yeah, as we get to the sweatshirt screen, I'm just going to throw us on camera because there is no point on this one. All right. Yeah, get yourself some of those ASL hoodies. Anyways, guys, it has been really fun. Remember, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/ASL English. Anything else from you, Tasteless?
Nothing else from me, guys. We'll see you tomorrow with the next group. We love you. Bye-bye.